This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder that Capital One Bank Guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also tell you about how Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bankguy. Capital One N.A., member FDIC. Work can be a little weird. Cringy training seminars, coworkers who won't stop talking about their plant, forgetting the mute button at an inopportune moment. We have to deal with a lot on any given workday. Sometimes it can feel hard to thrive and move forward in your career. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in. LinkedIn helps you get ideas and insights from experts in your field, connect with people professionally, grow your network, and access tools designed to help you find the right fit for your next role. Whether you're just getting started, figuring out your next move, or looking to accelerate your career, LinkedIn is built to support you at every stage, because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Hi, everybody. It's December 30th, 2014, and podcast time. This is Chuck, and we're talking about how sea monsters work. This is a great episode from back in the day. I remember, boy, this is hard to believe, almost 6 years ago. Time is really flying, everybody. I'm getting old. This is a fun podcast episode, though. How sea monsters work. Right here, right now.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know, a production of iHeartRadio.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. There's Charles W. Chuck Bryant. There's guest producer Noel. There's Nikola Tesla. It's Stuff You Should Know.
There's Johnny and Scott.
Are those your imaginary friends?
No, that was Sigmund, the sea monster. Did you watch that show?
No.
Once again, the brief cultural divide that spans between us.
Was that from the 70s or early 80s?
Yeah, it was one of the Sid and Marty Krofft shows.
Oh, H.R. Puffin stuff, huh?
Yeah, Sigmund the sea monster, and Johnny and Scott were his buddies.
Yeah.
And he was like he was a dude in a suit, I reckon, but he looked like a big blob of kelp.
I'm sure it was total nightmare fuel.
With eyes. That was cool.
Sid and Marty Krofft, man.
Oh, yeah.
Their sensibilities scare me.
Yeah, I went to the place once in Atlanta, they had down at the Omni, which is now Phillips Arena. Mm-hmm. They had Sid and Marty Krofft World or whatever, and I went down there once, and looking back now, it was like a drug-fueled indoor amusement park.
You're like, why are there so many 20-year-olds here?
Yeah, I never really put
without kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I say this every single time that we talk about Sid and Marty Krofft, but you've seen the Mr. Show State of Drugachusetts one, right? God, I love that.
That's one of the best. I mean, it's hard to pick out for Mr. Show, but
that's definitely up there.
Yeah, that's top 5, easy.
Yeah.
And that's Sea Monsters.
Sea Monsters, they're going to get you soon.
Is that from a show?
No.
Okay.
It's from this show. So, Chuck, are you familiar much with sea monsters when you were researching this? Were you like, everybody knows all this?
Sort of half and half.
Yeah, I felt similar. There were a lot of things in here that I hadn't heard of, and the extra research we did too yielded some new insights. But one of the things that stuck out to me, and I guess is probably the thesis of this whole thing, is that we've been seeing sea monsters for millennia. We've been talking about sea monsters for millennia.
Oh, yeah.
And we still are. Like, have you heard of the Montauk Monster?
Yes.
Did you see pictures of that thing?
Yeah, I remember when it came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just heard of it
really?
like yesterday, yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for not sharing that with you.
It's awesome.
Yeah, in 2008, what was the beach?
It was around Montauk.
Yeah, but there was a specific beach, Ditch Plains Beach. This girl and her 3 friends found this washed up Montauk monster. And I think what's funny is there's a trend here in naming these things sensationally throughout history.
Yeah.
And we still do it. Because they could have called it like a decomposed raccoon, but they called it the Montauk Monster.
Right. And the jury is not out. It is a decomposed raccoon.
Yeah, they pretty much think so, but it's not like you can't prove that.
I mean, they have like a line of biologists from Montauk to Manhattan saying, it's a raccoon. It's a raccoon without its fur.
Yeah.
Which makes it look awesome.
I've heard some other paleo zoologists say like it may be a sheep, though.
I think it was too small.
or other animals.
Gotcha.
But it's definitely not a sea monster.
No, but this is 2008 we're talking about, and some weird thing washes up on a beach, and around the world, people hear of the Montauk Monster, except for me.
Yeah, did you see the East River Monster?
I heard that one was a pig.
Yeah, it's clearly a pig, but it's still kind of cool looking. But still, they named it the East River Monster
Right.
and not a pig that was, I don't know how the pig got there.
Right, the pig of East River or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably like, somewhere in Chinatown, a pig was no good, and they said, go throw that thing in the river.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Also in 2006, there was one in Russia. I didn't see where, but on a beach, something washed up, and they said, sea monster.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a beluga whale carcass, greatly decomposed, but it looked weird. It didn't look anything like a beluga whale. But the point is still, in the 21st century, whenever the sea spits something up,
Yeah.
we're like, this is a monster. Clearly, obviously, this is a monster. And then biologists come along and say, it's not a monster, but it's this weird thing. Or sometimes they say, this is new.
Yeah.
It's not a monster, but this is new. And this is the point, finally, that I'm trying to get to, is that the oceans, the seas, cover 70% of Earth's surface.
Yeah.
Right? That's a lot of hiding places.
Sure.
And I think humans have known and still know intuitively that there is a lot of stuff down there that we don't know about. We don't know what it is. But over time, science has replaced superstition enough so that while we still know there's stuff out there that we don't know, we don't think of them as monsters. So our mindset has changed somewhat.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the sea is this place of unknown organisms that we're still learning about.
Sure. What's the 90 to 95% of the deepest seas are still completely like unresearched and undiscovered?
Well, James Cameron just took away a little percentage of that with his deep sea dive.
He took away a bit of my soul with every movie he's made since Terminator 2.
Oh, really? You like Terminator 2? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Huh.
Yeah, I think that was a good one.
Have you not seen Titanic? Did you know that there was an alternate ending for it where like they kept the diamond or
I
no?
thought you meant where something like the Titanic didn't sink.
Right. It worked out well in the end. No, Bill Paxton ended up getting in on throwing the diamond away. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I think.
Speaking of recent sea monsters, though, which is not a sea monster, but did you see the footage of the anglerfish recently?
That's another great point. Yeah.
Some of these deep sea creatures look like creepy monsters.
Right.
I mean, the anglerfish is one of the scariest looking things I've ever seen in my life.
Creepy.
And it's real, though. It's just, science is, it's not like, oh, what is this thing? They know what the anglerfish is.
Exactly.
But they live so deep. I think until recently it had never been filmed in its habitat.
Until like this year, 2014.
Until like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently it wasn't until 1975 that we ever photographed a whale underwater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
2006, I think, or 1976, we discovered the megamouth shark.
Yeah.
There's like the sea just coughs up new life
Sure.
to us that, were we slightly more superstitious, we would have called monsters. So that's pretty much the explanation of sea monsters. But it goes back like really, really far, and looking at the different kind of monsters we came up with really kind of reveals a lot about our mentality.
Yeah, it goes back, I mean, pretty much since people were writing stuff down, somebody was writing about some kind of sea monster. Like the ocean has always just enthralled folks, I think.
Yeah.
The Mesopotamians had the goddess Tiamat. It was a sea monster.
Well, she was their creator goddess originally. Yeah. So if you go far enough back in Mesopotamian lore, that's where the world came from. That's where the universe came from, was Tiamat, right?
No.
And then eventually, as Mesopotamia grew and evolved, she became what's known as a chaos monster.
Yeah.
And she was slain by a male hero, and then the world was created from that. But originally, she was just a benevolent creator goddess.
Well, and we'll see as we go through here, not all of the sea monsters, it depends on the culture and the religion. Some of them were benevolent. I know the Chinese revere their dragons and sea monsters.
Yeah.
The Old Testament had its Leviathan.
So
It's even in the Bible.
Right. And this is a question of mine, dude. Don't you think that the Leviathan and Tiamat are one and the same? And in the Old Testament, it's the Hebrew God slaying the old Mesopotamian gods, saying, don't even bring that here. Like, you created the world, I slay you.
Yeah.
I am God.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of crossover with stuff from the Old Testament and other religions, and some people take great offense to that. Others don't.
What?
That it's not. No, this is the Word of God.
Oh, sure.
Period.
Right.
There is no crossover. That's just coincidence.
Right.
Yeah. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I think Jules Verne, this quote is pretty cool. In 1870, he wrote that great book. And he said, either we do know all of the right varieties of beings which people our planet, or we do not. If we do not know them all, if nature has still secrets in the deeps for us, nothing is more conformable to reason than to admit the existence of fishes or cetaceans and other kinds of even new species.
To which the character receiving that monologue said, duh.
Yeah, but it kind of plays to the point that if there are undiscovered things, they're always high in the mountains or deep in the jungles or deep under the sea because people would have seen them. So it makes it exotic and sort of grabby as a means of religion or literature,
Right.
Lore.
Right. Plus, Jules Verne was writing this is 1870 when he wrote 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So this is a time when a lot of the old myths and legends and monsters were being subsumed by biology. So that monster that you saw, that thing does exist, but it's not actually a kraken. It's
an oarfish.
It's a giant squid.
Yeah.
And here's, what it does and how it reproduces, and because it's being studied, it's not just being feared.
Yeah. It's a good point. The Greeks and Romans, if you're a fan of mythology, there are tons and tons of cool stories about sea creatures and sea monsters, all kinds of monsters. Namely, one, Cetus, named by the Romans, King Cepheus, had a wife named Cassiopeia.
And they ruled Ethiopia, apparently.
Yeah, and she said, you know what, my daughter Andromeda is more beautiful than all the sea nymphs. And of course...
she's like, yeah, I said it.
Yeah, and Cetus was like, all right, well, I've got a dog-like head, and I'm part fish, and I'm going to come up and kill your daughter.
Yeah. Poseidon
And,
went, kill Cetus.
Yeah. And Perseus, of course, is always saving the day.
So he apparently was flying back, carrying Medusa's head that he'd just chopped off.
Oh, yeah.
Flying around, and just happened to pass by, was it Persephone, who was about to be eaten?
Andromeda,
and said, all right, I'll take care of Cetus on my way home.
my sword's bloody already.
Yeah. Harry Hamlin?
Yeah.
Isn't that who it was?
Yeah. I never saw the remake of that. Did you see that?
No.
I didn't either. I just remember release the Kraken
Yeah.
was a buzzword.
Yeah. That's right.
Liam Neeson has a knack for buzzy movie lines of dialogue because that very particular set of skills was also
Yeah.
a big thing for
That he said
6
in like
months.
4 different movies.
No, it was just in the one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Taken.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good movie, by the way.
Sure.
Did not see the sequel, though.
Taken 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, I thought it was weird when he started breaking.
He's doing the worm.
Yeah.
But like not even very well. I would have thought they'd get like a body double who was like a professional dancer. to
Well,
do it,
he
but
did not have a particular set of skills when it came to being on the cardboard.
no.
Stuff you should know.
Hey, everybody, here's a fact for you. In the United States, there is a break-in every 26 seconds, and that means that somewhere right now, an intruder is getting closer. And the problem with most security systems is that they only alert you after the break-in has started, and that's too late.
Well, that's what makes SimpliSafe different. They use alerts. SimpliSafe's US-based live agents, they identify threats on your property and help deter them before they actually break in. So the intruder never gets into your house. The crime is stopped before it even starts.
That's right. And another great thing about SimpliSafe is they have no long-term contracts. They give you peace of mind and great value with their monitoring deterrence plans because they just start at about $1 a day.
Yeah, SimpliSafe sent us a setup years back, and I still use mine every day.
Yeah, and apparently setup, you can do it by yourself in under 30 minutes, so it's a really good value and it doesn't take long.
So if you want to experience the SimpliSafe peace of mind, you can take advantage of the SimpliSafe discount offered to Stuff You Should Know listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplisafe.com/stuff. That's half off at simplisafe.com/stuff. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Work can be a little weird. One minute you're in a meeting that could have been an email. The next you're trying to decode corporate jargon that somehow means nothing. And don't even get us started on the quick sync that turns into a 45-minute deep dive.
Yeah, well, the truth is figuring out your career isn't always straightforward. Whether you're trying to grow, pivot, or just stay relevant, it can feel like you're navigating it all on your own. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in.
That's right. LinkedIn can help you grow your career, helping you confidently navigate your path with insights, ideas, and inspiration from your professional community. You can stay up to date with the latest trends in your field, connect with people who get it, and discover opportunities tailored to your goals, your experience, and what actually matters to you.
Whether you're looking for something new or just trying to grow where you are, LinkedIn gives you the tools and connections to move forward with confidence. Because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Stuff you should know.
So, Chuck, you were talking about Perseus slaying Cetus.
Yeah.
Homer's Odyssey was also another great book of legends and mythology.
Yeah.
And there were some sea monsters in it.
Yeah, Scylla or Scylla and Charybdis. Charybdis. These two point out an important and ongoing feature of some of these stories, which are that maybe they might symbolize something else real.
Yes.
Either a sea monster or, in this case, maybe a dangerous reef or whirlpools. That's a pretty common thing. I know the Kraken, also the most dangerous part about the Kraken, supposedly, is the whirlpool that it creates.
Right. So this is one thesis on why sea monsters developed.
Yeah.
It was as an allegory.
Yeah, a tale told of warning.
Right. So that quote or that description of Scylla is described as having 12 feet, 6 heads atop long, sinuous necks, and mouths bristling with rows of shark-like teeth. Well, that's probably a reef, right?
Yeah, sure.
And then Charybdis lay on the opposite shore and periodically swallowed and regurgitated the waters there. Probably a whirlpool, right?
Yeah, so it's a story saying maybe don't go there in your boat.
Exactly. Did you read that thing on nuclear semiotics?
I did not.
Dude, let me tell you about this for a second, okay? There is this this whole exploration that's trying to figure out how to express, like if you have nuclear waste and you need to put it away for 10,000 years and to keep people away from it for 10,000 years, you have to figure out a way to warn people away from it for 10,000 years. Well, how could you possibly do that?
Put up a Godzilla sign.
That's one idea.
Sure.
There's a lot of other ideas, and this whole thing is called nuclear semiotics. And one of the ways to, probably the most agreed upon way, is to create this thing called a nuclear priesthood.
Yeah.
Which is this group of learned people who know the secret of this nuclear waste site.
Yeah.
But purposefully come up with a folklore to warn people away. So to add some sort of like superstitious danger or something to the site that will get passed down and passed down. So eventually the people surrounding that area who live around it will know, like, you don't want to go there, you'll get killed. It has nothing to do with nuclear radiation anymore, but this folklore will get passed along and along. And they're saying, like, that may be the best way to pass along information. And that's exactly what the idea, one interpretation of what sea monsters are is.
Yeah, it's like a ghost story, too. You know, you don't want your kids to go in that decrepit house with all the rusty nails.
Right.
Tell them a scary old lady lives in there.
Or to play near the water. You don't want a Carpy to take you away.
It's really just manipulating your dumb kid.
Pretty much.
Into not doing dangerous things.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it works, and and over time, it's gotten passed down. So that's one interpretation of sea monsters. There's also, like you said, the Kraken, possibly being the giant squid, or I shouldn't even say possibly. It's probably a giant squid, right?
Yeah, there's always been stories of the Kraken terrorizing ships off of Iceland and Norway, and the Kraken is noted because it is huge, like 1.5 a mile to a mile and a half wide, and the Kraken is, like you said, most likely a giant squid. If you're a sailor back then and you don't know about biology and things yet, and you see an eyeball pop out the size of a human head,
right?
It might make you think that's a big Kraken sea monster.
Exactly. So then if that gets embellished into something that's a mile and a half wide with legs as large as a sailing mast, capable of pulling down a ship, well, I mean, it gets the point across to people back on land. Like, wow, that was a really big monster that you guys saw.
How big do these squids get?
They get to like 43 feet, 40 feet long. There's something even bigger called the colossal squid.
Yeah.
That's so much bigger. It's its own species, I believe. And it lives just in the Antarctic. So it was probably not the basis of the Kraken.
Right.
It's probably just a regular old giant squid.
But you've seen giant squids. Look at those things.
Right, exactly.
They're scary looking.
They are very scary, and they're very, very big. Plus, also, the idea of the Kraken may have first come about before sightings of giant squid.
Yeah, sure.
They may have been taken from whalers who found like crazy scars on whales, who may have found like bits of tentacles, like huge tentacles in the whale's stomachs.
Yeah.
Things like that. And
The
been
beak.
like, where did this come from? Yeah, the beak.
Yeah.
Because they did find a giant squid once, but the sailors cut it up and used it for bait, but they preserved the beak. And that just fueled the legend even more and more. So that's another interpretation of sea monsters, is that they came from misunderstood or embellished sightings of actual sea organisms that we're familiar with now.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. We just changed the name.
Sure. Well, you're a sailor. You're drunk, maybe.
Sure.
You may be hallucinating because you've been out at sea for too long.
Licking toads.
You may be licking toads. You may be physically ill, sleep deprived, fatigued.
Right.
And you see a giant squid, you might write in your journal that I've seen the Kraken. It makes perfect sense.
Sure.
You know?
And it spreads and takes shape over time.
You got a little scurvy going on?
The Kraken's not the only one that's probably based on something real. Like sea serpents. So the Leviathan was a sea serpent, many-headed sea serpent. It was a Mesopotamian god, like we said. Or no, I'm sorry, it was in the Old Testament. It may have been the Mesopotamian god. That's what I said.
Yeah, but Leviathan always is sort of a catch-all word now for any like large, unknown, huge creature.
Yeah, and apparently it's in Hebrew, it just means whale.
Yeah.
Which again,
This was probably a whale.
well, yeah, it could have also been a sea serpent. So sea serpents are their own things. The Norse had a legend of the Jormungandr.
Yeah.
There's an
Thor.
umlaut in there and everything.
Yeah.
And that was apparently one of Thor's bigger headaches.
Yeah, that was the baby that was created when Loki, his brother, and a woman named Angerboda, I guess, had the sex of the gods and created this creature.
A sea serpent that wrapped around the globe.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just one example of a sea serpent, a huge sea-bound snake. And there's a lot of suggestions of what accounted for sightings of sea serpents.
Yeah.
Huge things of floating kelp seen in the distance.
Sure.
Schools of porpoises.
Yeah, all in line together.
There's one thing, though, that could have accounted for all sightings of sea serpents. It's called the oarfish. Did you see this thing?
Yeah, it is huge. And if an oarfish was swimming in the water, it could be undulating up and down, and it looks like little spiny humps coming in and out of the water.
Right.
So that makes sense, sure.
They get up to, I think, 30 or 40 feet.
Yeah, they can. I mean, there's plenty of photos of, like 10 dudes on a beach holding one up.
Right.
Because it takes 10 dudes.
Yeah.
It's not like they all want their hand on the little fish.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
And these aren't photoshopped either. There's all kinds of stupid fake pictures too. But oarfishes are huge, and they look like big, slimy, kind of serpentine fish.
Yep. And then, Chuck, mer people were another kind of universal, I guess, sea monster myth. That's another thing that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Is there are legends around the world from cultures that are separated by space and time that had similar stories.
Yeah.
Without possibly interacting.
Yeah.
So it makes you think that a lot of these people cited similar things
Sure.
and came up with similar myths and legends to explain what they were seeing.
Probably. The mermaid is, if you've seen Splash, you think, wow, what a neat thing to find a mermaid. But mermaids were not looked upon kindly because they would, and this article points out, they would, at their best, they would just forget that you can't breathe and drag you underwater till you die. And at their worst, they would do so on purpose.
Right.
And take the men down under the water and lights out for you, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, sorry, Tom Hanks. Sorry
Daryl
for the
Hannah.
rest of your career.
Daryl, his career was pretty lousy after Splash, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
What?
No.
Daryl Hannah, though, in the movie, she was not a bad mermaid because she kissed him and gave him breath.
Right. Well, it's the Hollywoodification of the mermaid legend.
Ron Howard.
Or like Ariel from Little Mermaid.
Oh, sure. And that dirty, dirty DVD cover.
Oh, yeah.
Or I guess it was
forgot
VHS cover. They probably corrected that before it went to DVD.
Probably.
Those Disney guys.
Bored.
Bored and, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I get bored and blank. So the whole mer creature had root in the Nordic areas and Scotland, which apparently there's parts of Scotland that are so far north that they consider themselves Nordic rather than Scottish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Orkney, I think.
Huh.
And there's a whole part of Scotland that's underwater now called Dogland that was around 10 or 12,000 years ago. That's like this really fertile Neolithic artifact area. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Doggerland, that's what it is, not Dogland. So they had their own things called Carpies, Chuck. And what's interesting about the Carpie is that
Kelpie?
The Kelpie,
Yeah.
I was thinking Harpies.
Yeah. Or carp.
Kelpies. Exactly. But this is not carp or harpies. They're kelpies.
Yeah.
Which are actually horses
Yeah.
that live in the sea that can sometimes change into humans. So they're kind of mer creatures.
Sure.
But every lake in Scotland has a kelpie supposedly associated with it,
Yeah.
including Loch Ness. And it wasn't until the early 18th century that Nessie became like a sea creature
Right.
that we think of her today, when some dinosaur bones, plesiosaur bones, were found around Loch Ness saying, well, this is what the Loch Ness Monster is.
Right.
Before that, it was just a kelpie.
We could probably do a full show on Nessie
I
just for
think
the
we
fun
should.
of it.
Totally should.
Has been pretty much disproven unequivocally, of course.
Sure.
Because there is no Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
But I just think things like that are neat. I mean, we did one on Bigfoot. It's more about just the legend and the
Right.
lore around it.
Exactly. I'd love to do
interesting.
one on Loch Ness
Did you
Monster.
ever see the documentary that what's his name did, Werner Herzog?
No, I didn't know he did one of those.
It was, I think it was he did a mockumentary, but not like a Christopher Guest mockumentary, just
Right.
a faux documentary.
Waiting for Nessie?
Yeah, Waiting for Nessie. Where it just looked like he was, I can't remember the name, but where he was searching for the Loch Ness Monster and saw, caught it on camera, but he made it seem real. I think it was Werner Herzog.
Huh.
It was good, of course,
Sounds a little dishonest for Werner Herzog.
Well, I don't think he was trying to pass it off. I
I
think,
gotta see this.
yeah, I'll look that up. It may not be him, but someone did that, and it was kind of cool because if you buy into it, then you're like, oh my God, there it is.
Are you sure this wasn't like something on cable?
Noel says it was Herzog.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, it probably played on cable at some point.
gotcha. Noel talks a lot more than Jerry does. So, Chuck, that brings us to our third interpretation for where sea monster legends came from. People finding dinosaur bones.
Yes, and we'll talk more about that right after this break.
Stuff you shouldn't know.
Hey, everybody. Here's a fact for you. In the United States, there is a break-in every 26 seconds, and that means that somewhere right now, an intruder is getting closer. And the problem with most security systems is that they only alert you after the break-in has started, and that's too late.
Well, that's what makes SimpliSafe different. They use alerts. SimpliSafe's US-based live agents, they identify threats on your property and help deter them before they actually break in. So the intruder never gets into your house. The crime is stopped before it even starts.
That's right. And another great thing about SimpliSafe is they have no long-term contracts. They give you peace of mind and great value with their monitoring deterrence plans because they just start at about $1 a day.
Yeah, SimpliSafe sent us a setup years back, and I still use mine every day.
Yeah, and apparently setup, you can do it by yourself in under 30 minutes. So it's a really good value and it doesn't take long.
So if you want to experience the SimpliSafe peace of mind, you can take advantage of the SimpliSafe discount offered to Stuff You Should Know listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplisafe.com/stuff. That's half off at simplisafe.com/stuff. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Work can be a little weird. One minute you're in a meeting that could have been an email. The next you're trying to decode corporate jargon that somehow means nothing. And don't even get us started on the quick sync that turns into a 45-minute deep dive.
Yeah, well, the truth is figuring out your career isn't always straightforward. Whether you're trying to grow, pivot, or just stay relevant, it can feel like you're navigating it all on your own. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in.
That's right. LinkedIn can help you grow your career, helping you confidently navigate your path with insights, ideas, and inspiration from your professional community. You can stay up to date with the latest trends in your field, connect with people who get it, and discover opportunities tailored to your goals, your experience, and what actually matters to you.
Whether you're looking for something new or just trying to grow where you are, LinkedIn gives you the tools and connections to move forward with confidence. Because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more. Hey everybody, we're here to talk to you about Wayfair, who believes that spaces should be functional, they should be comfortable, they should be well-designed, and they can be well-designed by you with their help.
Your updated space should feel more comfortable, inviting, and practical for everyday use. And we're talking about outdoor seating. We're talking about grills. We're talking about major appliances. If you need storage solutions, Wayfair can help you out. Patio lighting, rugs, decor. It is your one-stop shop for home.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting nice out, so it's time to think about living outdoors for the next few months. And Wayfair knows that outdoor furniture, it's heavy, it's intimidating to assemble. So Wayfair has stepped in and said, we're going to handle the hard part so you don't have to.
That's right. You can shop Wayfair Verified, your shortcut to the good stuff. And that means their team of product specialists are going to vet everything by hand using a 10-point inspection, testing things like, quality materials, functionality, and features, and even how long it takes to build that piece of furniture. And the overall experience save time, reduce hassle, and improved convenience.
Patio season is here, and these deals won't last. So head to wayfair.com right now to get your outdoor space ready for way less. That's WAYFAIR.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary, it's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
Stuff you should know.
All right, Dino Josh.
Yeah?
Let's hear it.
Oh, well, so I said that Nessie became this kind of sea monster around the time of plesiosaur. I believe that's what it was. Skeleton was found around Loch Ness. They said, well, this must be one of Nessie's relatives. apparently that wasn't the first time that a dinosaur led to the idea of a sea serpent. You mentioned the Chinese having a legend of some sort of dragon, little tiny dragons that measured about 3 feet long. About a foot long. The Guizhou dragons.
Yeah.
And they were basically marine reptiles called Chichosaurus hui. But they were lucky. Like if you found one of these skeletons, you kept it because it was a little sea monster skeleton that you got your hands on, and it would bring you good fortune.
That's right. And I know earlier we were talking about just the early explorers, and you can't fault some of these dudes because they were, as this one article you said, they were literally in uncharted waters.
Yeah.
And it was before the rise of science. And all they had heard were stories and folklore. And anytime if you ever see a map, a sea map, oceanic map from the 1500s, it's going to have some sea monsters drawn on it, even as just decoration. So it was a time when before observational data came along, we pretty much, it was sort of like the internet today, you pretty much just rewrote earlier history books over and over.
Right.
Until they finally got a little smarter and say, you know what, maybe we should really observe something and then write about it for real. And
this didn't really lead to anything more substantiated,
Well, for a while, sure. But it was, they call it a transitional era in this article, which I think kind of sums it up.
These were early scientists, early naturalists who were trying to get a handle on what the heck they were looking at. But they still perpetuated legends, like they might have a real creature.
Like a whale.
Right. And then similarly a natural biological illustration of a mythical creature.
Right.
Like a sea bishop.
Yeah.
So the sea bishop was this thing that was supposedly caught and taken to the king of Poland because it was this fish-like creature that had like a mitre and robes like a bishop.
Yeah.
And apparently it could also talk and refuse to eat.
Yeah.
And when it would make the sign of the cross and everything. And later on, somebody said, it probably didn't talk and make the sign of the cross. But if you look at a squid a certain way,
sure,
it looks a lot like, it's got the hat and some of its flappy skin looks kind of like the robes, So maybe that's where the sea bishop came from.
Yeah.
Simultaneously to this, we're talking like the 16th century. There was pretty much a widespread belief that whatever you found on land had an analogy in the sea.
Catfish, dogfish, seahorse.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
And in some cases, they were right. Like there are catfish, there are dogfish, because we call them that.
Yeah. Sea monkeys.
Right? The seahorse, too.
Yeah.
But all that kind of, it was a rough time for science. It was still getting its footing.
Well, yeah, because, like you said, things were mistaken. Like a whale and a walrus might be a monster when it's just a whale or a walrus. And there were all kinds of tales that, when it's repeated over and over, you get the sense that it's just one of those like urban legends back then.
Right.
I guess it wasn't urban back then, though. What would it be? Just a seafaring legend?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Of whales being mistaken for islands. And like a ship will land on the whale and build and root down, basically get off the ship and build a fire. And then the whale, I guess, who's just chilling out at the surface, says, "Hey, there's a fire on my back, and I'm going to take your boat underwater and swallow you whole."
Sorry, I'm a whale.
So beware of the, whatever they called that, whatever culture called that particular whale.
Exactly. Now we just call it a whale. And again, it was
and you
probably
can't land on their backs.
It was an embellished story. But it was based on a sighting of a whale before they called it whales, and back when everybody lied about everything they saw. Another culture that found dinosaur bones and created their own legends were the Lakota and Dakota Sioux.
Yeah, sure.
They came up with something called the Untahila.
Untahila?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Sure.
From dinosaur bones found around the Missouri River.
Yeah, and that was a water creature.
Yeah, well, they were very evil water serpents that would eat anything, including one another.
Yeah.
And so the Thunderbirds would come and do battle with them.
Thunder beings.
Yeah, but I looked it up. It's basically Thunderbirds.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
What they knew is that it wasn't a Tatanka.
That's a buffalo, right?
Yeah.
They were pretty sure. You know, that's apparently where the legends of the Cyclops came from.
From Native Americans?
From finding like old like elephant bones, elephant skulls, the huge cavity in the middle.
Oh,
They're
gotcha.
like, well, clearly there was a race of giants that just had one eye.
Huh.
No, they were elephants.
We often joke like they were dumb back then. Of course they weren't. They were just trying to figure it out.
It's like to make stuff up.
Sure.
They didn't have TV or anything back then.
And like we said,
They
a
had
lot
maps.
of this stuff was legend to keep, boaters from going in maybe a particularly dangerous part of the sea.
Right.
Or to keep the children away from the water.
Yeah.
And like the ghost story or the nuclear, what's it called?
Oh, nuclear semiotics.
Nuclear semiotics.
Man, everybody, go look that stuff up. Actually, Roman Mars has a 99% invisible about that one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nuclear semiotics.
Pretty neat. And effective, I imagine.
We'll find out in 10,000 years.
I guess so.
What else? You got anything else?
I don't have anything else on sea serpents. Just take a look at the anglerfish video and tell me if you came upon that. And see, we also didn't point out that this was before not even deep sea exploration. Like, this is before underwater exploration.
Right.
People were just riding around on the top of the ocean.
Yeah.
So we're fascinated with it, and we've gone to the depths that we can attain at this point, which is pretty deep. I wish I would have looked that up. I don't know how deep we can go.
How deep James Cameron can go?
Oh, he goes deep, buddy. But think about back then, man, when they couldn't, like, you know how scary that would be?
Right.
When these strange creatures are like, you see a giant squid.
Yeah, and you're just partially seeing it. If you can't see it underwater, you have no idea what you're looking at.
Yeah, this is before the diving bell even. Like, there was...
Or the butterfly.
That's right.
Yeah. You like that one?
Yeah.
I finally saw that movie, by the way.
Hardcore, man.
That's good, though.
Yeah, really good.
If you want to know more about the diving bell and the butterfly or about sea monsters, you can type those words into the search bar at howstuffworks.com. And since I said search bar, it's time for listener mail.
I'm going to call this Opa, which is German for grandpa.
Is it? I thought it was Greek for, like, good times.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Really?
Yeah. Opa.
Well, I'm sure those are just three letters together. It might be something in Greek. But, like, my brother-in-law, Karsten, is German, and his grandfather was...
Opa?
I'm sorry, his father... Yeah, his grandfather was Opa, but his dad was native German, so my nieces called him Opa, as does this lady's. I'm writing in specifically about your whaling podcast. Oh, how appropriate. With a family story that Lucy relates. My great-grandfather Opa left Germany when he was 14, pre-war, to work as a sailor, came to the U.S. and was a member of the U.S. Coast Guard. One day he was part of a team that was clearing a harbor of some old sunken ships. To do so, they used the sophisticated method of throwing dynamite into the water to blast the wood apart and then gathered the debris. His team rowed out in a 14-foot rowboat to gather up the wood shards and noticed the blast had killed the fish. They floated to the top, so the crew brought them in to the boat as well. Waste not, want not.
Sure.
As they were going about their business, they came across a 16-foot hammerhead shark that had floated up. Clearly, it would be a great source of food, so despite their small boat, they pulled it aboard. I think you see where this is headed.
No, I do.
Well, as it turns out, the blast was strong enough to kill small fish, but only stun larger animals. The shark slowly started to regain consciousness in the rowboat, and being confused and out of water, was not pleased. It got to the point that it was thrashing about in the boat, threatened to destroy the boat, and likely injure or kill the crew members. So in the midst of this chaos, they were able to flag down a sailor on a larger vessel who proceeded to shoot the thing to death while it was still in the boat. All of the crew members were safe, and they still got to feast on hammerhead shark, but now had a much more exciting story. And you mentioned in the whaling podcast, old-timey whaling, crew members were deployed in small boats to get the whale and were often injured and killed. I thought you might find this interesting. And I was hoping that you could give a shout-out to my sister Rachel, who turned me on to your podcast in 2009. She lives in France, and we don't get to see each other frequently, but whenever we do, Josh and Chuck always come up.
That's us.
So that is Wendy Bear. She is a registered dietitian. And Wendy and Rachel, thanks for listening and for spreading the word and for being sisters.
Way to go being sisters.
Yeah.
Thanks for writing in, Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Wendy. And Chuck, This is our last episode of 2014.
Oh, man, the longest year.
So we want to say Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes.
And I want to say happy birthday to my sweet and lovely wife, Yumi. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
That's the rights-free version?
No, that's the Stevie Wonder version.
Oh.
It's a good one.
So it's not rights-free.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Yumi. Happy New Year to all of you great people out there in podcast land. We'll see you next year.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
Hey, quick question for the parents listening right now. When's the last time your kid asked for something and you actually felt good saying yes? Because lately, a lot of families have been hearing the same thing. Can I have Lingo Kids, please?
And here's the thing. Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids with more than 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows. Astronauts, wild animals, superheroes, dinosaurs. It's literally everything kids love all in one place.
So when they ask for it, you can actually feel good saying yes. Download Lingo Kids for free and start exploring today, or unlock even more amazing content with Lingo Kids Plus. And if you go with the yearly plan, you can save up to 60%. Just search Lingo Kids in the App Store or Google Play. Lingo Kids, everything kids love. You know, you could be adored by everyone and still completely ignored by your cat. Trust me, I know. But if you feed your cat Sheba, you can go from being ignored to truly adored in 12 days, guaranteed, or your money back. Sheba has a full menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, even a kitten's menu. It's so cute. So Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater. Like Sheba Puree, it's made with bone broth, they're chef-inspired flavors, it's got a smooth and creamy texture that cats love, and contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. It's food that your cat's gonna love. To learn more, check out Sheba.com. That's SHEBA.com.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed Human.